Hi everyone, I am Bob DeMarzo with Channel Partners TV, CPTV as we call it. We're actually filming this episode out on the floor, the expo floor of the Channel Partners Conference and Expo. My special guest is Tim Acker, VP of Channel Sales at Lumen. Tim, great to have you. Thanks for being here.
It'll be great to see you.
Sure, it's a pleasure to be here and talk about what's going on with Lumen. I think you're about a year into the job at this point.
Not quite, but getting there. Yeah.
Let's not rush things.
That's
So
right.
tell us a little bit about the efforts you put into growth, transforming Lumen's channel program, and where you're taking partners. I'll just take it from there.
Yeah, maybe at the top of it, I'll talk about Lumen's transformation overall, right?
Sure.
Like we've been out in front talking about the customer, our North Star, and really customers are looking for different experiences from us, right? They're demanding more of telecom companies, the ability to more seamlessly connect their people, their data, their applications, nothing that you haven't heard, but I think those demands are increasing for us. And so, for us, there was a big hurdles that we needed to clear just on our own business to put that customer, ahead.
Sure.
First, and I don't think it's any secret, we put a lot of emphasis into, getting the balance sheet and liquidity situation to where it was
Shore up the finances.
and it allows us to invest, right? And that's a big part of that story. So, 2024, big news there. The second thing is we needed to think about tech partnerships in a different way, Bobby. Specifically, think about hyperscalers and what that enables for the entire channel ecosystem. So, big announcements last year around our PCF and partnering with the major tech players there, a big part of it. And then lastly, I'd say, it's also transforming our culture, thinking about how we show up differently, both to customers and then how that translates to partners. Another incredible, piece of work that we needed to get done internally, and we're continuing that evolution. And I'd say, Bobby, 2025 is going to be more of that, really doubling down on those efforts and getting customers and partners in the right place.
So talk to us, Lumen's got some legacy channel. It's got, obviously, it has a huge channel footprint, right?
Yeah.
Lots of different partners. Talk a little bit about, how some of your current partners are succeeding and why, and where you're looking for new partners.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think we have an incredible history. We're probably one of the oldest channel programs in the industry around telco. We're very proud of that. I think we've had to change and morph as the channel has, but we really value the relationship that we have with agents and advisors, and we've been through that evolution with that channel. So for us, it's still home for us, and we're investing there. We're continuing to build that out. And we're continuing to bring capabilities to those, to those agents and advisors that I think is incredibly important. Now, to your point around thinking about new types of, partners and routes to markets.
That you want to add to sort of the Lumen partner ecosystem.
100%. Part of our vision last year in creating global partner solutions, what we referred to as GPS, was really to think about those new routes to market and how new types of partnerships and new types of go-to-market motions would actually not only benefit us from our North Star for customers, but if you think about it, when we think about MSPs, GSIs, alliances, ISVs, which we're starting to add to our program, that actually benefits this channel in incredible ways, right? We really want to think about multi-partner and how we can get multiple partners to bring solutions to customers. So we think that investment is going to pay off for this channel.
So we're here in the beginning of the year. We're filming this in March at the Channel Partners Conference. I'm sure you've got a sense of what your goals are for 2025. Maybe you're hearing some things that might even make you feel more optimistic. Talk about your growth goals from a channel perspective for this year.
Yeah, I think it centers around really getting our message about above core network services out to the channel. I think it's uneven in terms of people's recognition of the investments we have in areas like SASE, cloud, security, edge, managed services that we can offer to customers through partners. Those are all part of the stack, for us. I think we have a big opportunity to really help elevate a partner's game, help them understand where we play, where we have a right to play, where we can really add value to them. So I'd say, from a goals perspective, that's really out front. And while I don't know that I'd put a specific number to that, we're seeing incredible adoption around some of those technologies. Partners thinking about how do they layer on top of core network services. So I think we're going to put more gas, more resources to those types of initiatives. And we're happy about early results. We have a long way to go.
One of the interesting things we found doing some research of our attendees here, Channel Partners Conference, was their focus on the mid-market, so that 101 to 1,000 seat type of organization or employees, right? Certainly have a big focus on enterprise, and certainly a lot of partners here focus on small business. So when you think of the customer segment, right, and that sweet spot of mid-market, how important is mid-market to you? Do you feel there's growth on the enterprise side? Do you play on the SMB side? Sort of give us that profile of partner, penetration into those sectors.
Yeah.
Public or private, doesn't matter.
No, absolutely. Look, I'd say it's an all the above growth conversation for us, right? We play across those market segments.
Right.
Particular strength in areas like enterprise have been a long, cherished history for us. I'd say in the mid-market space, we continue to make inroads there. I think we're doing a better job of enabling partners. But I think one of the things I want to get across to the channel, Bobby, and I think so that people really understand is we're really thinking deeply about how do we take our, our direct sellers and our direct engagement and be versus, instead of being direct versus indirect, it's
Right.
direct and indirect, and how we show up differently. So we're working hard. I am with the segment leads in the other areas in enterprise, in mid-market, frankly, in public sector, to show up differently in front of customers. We need to figure out how we help customers achieve their goals, right? And worry less about segmentation.
That should be first
right?
and foremost. Yeah,
It is,
gotcha.
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. So I think there's opportunities for us to grow across all of those segments, and I think you'll see us far more committed to it than we have in the past. And let me illustrate it. Let me bring it home.
Sure.
Our CEO, Kate Johnson, and our SLT have been out in front and very public around. They want to see a substantial increase in partner-led, partner-sourced, and partner-involved engagements, right?
Great.
So we have this
So it goes all the way to the top of Lumen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a great endorsement. Yeah.
And so I think, we have a long way to go to get there, but we have some very aggressive goals to get the preponderance of our revenue integrated with partners. We know we need the partner community to get there. And so, we're now taking that edict, putting the programs in place, breaking down barriers and moving that ball
Should
forward.
be nothing but upside, certainly for you guys from a channel perspective.
It's a massive greenfield opportunity for us, particularly when you think about, our opportunity to cloudify telecom and be more of a techco in addition to being a telco, right? That evolution for
Well,
us.
and we've had that discussion with, I would say some of your competitors or maybe some companies that you cooperate with, which is that transformation from telco to techco that's taken place, right? Because of the broadening of the solutions that you guys have. So
Indeed.
are you kind of on that journey?
We are.
Yeah.
We are. I think if you look at our investments in the portfolio, how we're thinking about, cloudifying some of our legacy, voice and data services, the migration that we're making, and really sort of leveraging, the fiber assets that we have, the long haul assets that we have, incredible assets in our wavelength products, and bringing that together under our PCF or connected fabric solution. We think there's a tremendous amount of upside, and frankly, we've really not tapped that opportunity in the channel yet. We're getting that story together. We're going to bring that out, but we think that's going to benefit customers and give, partners a whole new stack to sell at very lucrative commissions, and I think really have a differentiated conversation.
So it sounds like you're tweaking the partner program a bit to showcase those investments and give them more incentives in that regard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think it's a story of more, not less, and it's a story about how do we show up with partners in the way they need us to.
Right.
Again, back to that routes to market conversation and what their customers are demanding of them. So, yeah.
Oh, Tim, it was great having you here. Bob DeMarzo with Channel Partners TV. My special guest was Lumen Channel Sales Leader, Tim Acker. Tim, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Channel Partners TV.
Thank you, Bobby.